this is a fabulous fix for your technique, or just a way to make sure that your fingers are really doing what you think they're doing. So this is just about the simplest exercise you can possibly do. I call it the place and hold exercise. And what's so wonderful is that it's very soothing, very calming. It's great for your fingers, it's great for your posture. It's almost like yoga at the harp, but it gives you a chance to really focus and really think about what your fingers are doing, which means you're actually working kind of hard, even though you can be relaxed. So be sure that you're sitting properly. Put your 4 fingers on the harp, just on adjacent strings like this. I've just C, D, E, F, nothing odd here. And what we're going to do is start by looking at the angles of everything. How's the angle of your arm, the angle of your wrist, the angle of your fingers? What are those angles the way you were taught? Now, different techniques do them slightly differently. I was taught with Salzedo technique, so that's what I use. If you were taught a different technique, don't look at my hands, don't do what I'm doing, just follow what you were taught. So that's why I'm not going to give you specific angles. I just want you to remember what you need. You're looking for the angle of your fingers on the strings, the angle of your wrist, which in most techniques should be sort of a gentle angle. It shouldn't be very sharp like this, or very flat, or even worse, sticking out. Just a very gentle, natural angle for your wrist. The angle of your elbow, I was taught elbows up. You might not be. That's okay. You watch that. Be sure you're sitting straight, stay relaxed, and then be sure that your hand is centered over the strings. So we've dealt with angle, now we deal with arch. Your fingers should be really nicely arched. Think about that shape of an arch, how strong it is, right? It's the strongest shape that there is. Well, you want all those knuckles to be curved. You don't want anything flattened out, because anytime you have a distortion in the arch like this, you limit the strength of your fingers. So we want a nice arch with all your knuckles curved. Then play your fingers one at a time. I'm just starting with 4th finger because I'm watching to make sure that the arch stays strong. None of those knuckles collapse. And now that I'm watching the angle and the arch, I need to watch the follow through, being sure that the finger comes fully into my hand, once again following the precepts of whatever method you were taught. Everything should be relaxed. Don't have a death grip on the other strings. All right. Be sure with playing your 4th finger, by the way, that your pinky moves along with it, right? You don't want your pinky sticking out. Done with 4th finger, then we're going to check 3rd finger. 3rd finger is a little harder to play by itself. Once again, every knuckle curved. You're watching the angle, the arch, and the follow through. Same with 2nd finger. I generally play each finger about 10 times just to make sure that it's doing everything it's supposed to do. Being sure that I'm totally relaxed, not changing the angle of my hand or my arm just because I'm playing a different finger. And the same for thumb. Nothing should change. It's not a nice sound. There we go. Watching that your thumb closes all the way over to that knuckle. And in my technique, the thumb is supposed to be nice and high. So that's what I'm working at. But once again, the angle of my hand, my arm, my body, nothing has changed. And then you can do them just one at a time. And then you get to go and do your left hand. But the real benefit of this is that you're going to really have a chance to watch what you're doing, to take it slowly, easily. Remember to breathe. Just breathe into all that. Be sure that you're staying relaxed. So it's going to help you prevent injury in the long run, and remind your fingers of exactly what they need to do every minute that you're playing and not watching them. So this is where you should start to help refresh your technique.